Hello, everyone. So one of the things that we do in Nigeria a lot is doing these analogies that really don't go together. I wanted to say don't make sense, but anyway, maybe it might not make sense to me, but it might make sense to another person. Just like what makes sense of some things that make sense to me might not make sense to other people. But you see, constantly when I see people just try to this whole suffering, like I was saying yesterday at the program, Dr. Damage's programs that I was on, I like, look, Nigerians really don't want their problems to be solved. Nigerians don't want this issue because it seems as if we like our pity parties. We like to keep complaining about how things are bad. We like to appear. There are people in life who all the time they are always organizing pity parties. If you see them, they will complain, 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 complain. That's how they do. In short, they are so weary. Just being in their presence, 5 minutes, you are tired. Because anytime you see them with the same thing, they always see what life has done them bad. They never see the things that, good things or whatever. They always complain. So it's as if Nigerians also like that. Maybe the majority of Nigerians. So all the time they would rather be sitting down and talking about how bad Nigeria is and all of that. That's one of the things that I have stopped. I don't see where I am, don't come and be telling me how bad night. I'm not even interested in hearing it. If you're solving the problem, call me in. But if you to talk about how bad it is, please, I'm out. I'm not even there. I'm not even interested. And so, when you see this whole comparison, so you always say that, oh, in US this thing, in UK that thing. I'm like, the basic thing, these places you are calling, they have 24/7 electricity. Can we start with that? Let Nigeria also have 24/7 electricity, and then we go on from there. They have so many things we don't have. You don't talk about these things, but you sit down, you're always, oh, in UK this, in US that. But this one, anyways, that this particular person did talk about, and I love the way the thread went, because a lot of people did take the person. Or he said, do you see how Dubai is issuing fines against individuals who spread damaging videos of floods ravaging their country? They understand the impact of negative news on countries worldwide. Okay, fine. They understand the impact of negative news, but they don't understand the impact of human rights. They don't understand the impact of freedom of speech. Why are you fighting your country people for putting out negative news? Why are you not fighting the negative news so that there will not be any negative news to be put out? All this while that there hasn't been negative news, that your people have shown how they go out in their Mercedes, they go and spend in shops and whatever. Did you find them? Did you reward them for that? Did you do whatever? So if that wasn't a crime, why then is it a crime for them talking about something that is factually happening in their country right now? And this is something that, okay, fine, you experimented on something and it caused this havoc. Definitely, you know how you will now take care of it, so that while the experiment is still going on, for the things that you needed to do there, that it's not causing this havoc. So what's the big deal about gagging people's voices? There's something I always talk about, when they're talking about, for example, like China, how developed China is, and the Chinese people, how they're doing well and stuff like that. I always say I would not in any way want to be a Chinese person or someone living in that country or whatever, because I would rather take my Nigeria where there's anyhowness with my freedom. That freedom of speech is important to me, human rights is important to me. And so this thing, for me, these are critical things that are really important. So it's not about, oh, because you have a good life, they give you some good life, and then it's like you're in a gilded prison, like you're put in a prison. No matter how pretty it is, it's still a prison. You're still gagged. So I don't want to be gagged. Let me have my freedom. Let me fight for the right thing to be done. Let the right thing to be done without necessarily taking away my voice. Anytime I think about Jack, I think it was Jack Ma, yeah, the founder of Alibaba, and how what all that drama that went with him. I'm like, whoa, no way. But anyway, let me continue with the this thing that is on. So he said they recognize that this guy is called on Uncle Dami on X, formerly known as Twitter. Mr. Damilola, that's the name. He said they recognize the potential harm those videos can inflict on their economy and reputation, as well as how they can dispel the idyllic image Dubai has cultivated over the years. Similarly, American employs tactics to mitigate bad publicity, leveraging the powerful tool of Hollywood to showcase their country in a positive light. While they excel in this regard, no country is perfect. So fine, okay, you've shown how American does its thing. The third biggest movie industry in the world is Nollywood. Yeah, so fine. And I think Nollywood even has more numbers in terms of the more numbers, in terms of the volume of in terms of the monetary value. Hollywood is the highest. I think in terms of the number, I think we're either second or the first. So why wouldn't the Nigerian government actually go out to use the Nollywood to actually clean the image of Nigeria, to give people a more good perception of Nigeria, rather than all of this 419, all of this juju and whatever that is going to. Yeah, a lot of our filmmakers are doing amazingly well, but there is a place where government also, collaborates with them in ensuring that we see that Nigeria in a very good light that is in. And I totally agree with Mr. Damilola in the sense that, Hollywood has been used, to positively launder the image of what do you call it, to positively portray, rather not launder, to portray the United States. And sometimes, when we think of Russia and the way we look at Russia, it's all boiled down to what we saw in films, the way they portrayed Russia as the one who was the bad guy. America is always the good guy. They're coming out to save people, save this, save that. So yeah, that's a powerful tool that can be used. Yes, why is that not a tool for the Nigerian government to use? Is that not a tool for that to be used? Why does it have to be in the case of people gagging? So he said, therefore, their citizens refrain from ridiculing their country online, instead advocating for good governance without disparaging their nation. They are aware of the global implications of the lasting impression it will leave. I'm not saying don't criticize the government, by all means do, but don't damage the image of your country. Why doing so? Our image is important. So while he was saying this, so this person, Winston Adete, uh, with the handle at Adete1, comes to answer him. He said, did you notice how Dubai government responded to the flood situation, offering succor and providing shelter, security, food, etc. to the affected? Did you notice how they didn't abandon the people to themselves whilst expecting the people to keep mum over what has happened? Did you notice how they didn't gaslight people to pray for God, to pray for God to prevent future rainfalls? He now added Olodo Rabata. And then somebody said, no, dear, he's suffering from selective perception. So that's one, yeah. Then another person says, in replying, says, the UAE is a monarchy. You can't restrict citizens' lawful free speech in a democracy, so it can't be compared to Nigeria. Then he replied that person to say, no comparison was done either. An inference was made as to why they did what they did, and that's protection of their image. I didn't postulate that the government should go their way. I admonish that people should be patriotic and criticize government constructively. Okay, somebody says, this one says, you are devoid of sense. How many UAE leaders have been fingered in fraud in their country? What's their poverty rate, their GDP per capita? How many villages are without decent roads, electricity and water? How many Emiratis go without food every day? It's nonsense. You will compare. I don't know what all of those ones mean. But anyway, for me, what I think, so those are the people. Then there were people who came out to show this, and I see people do this, and I'm like, I just like, what is it about them? Is it, oh, I want to feel that I am this, or I don't get it. This same person has been online saying a lot of things about Nigeria. So somebody brings a screenshot of what he has said. So where they talked about NAFDAC Nigeria rates supermarket in Abuja, sees counterfeit products worth 50 million. Then he comes out to say counterfeit products are all over Nigeria, from creams to toothpaste and soaps, just name anything. The worrisome thing is major supermarkets all over the country are the ones selling this counterfeit product. So this is the same person that is saying, don't say anything bad about Nigeria, put it in a light, blah, blah, blah. This is what he tweeted some time ago. And then someone also Nigerians can be so brutal. This one said, the space in your head will accommodate everyone in Naija, and there'll be space less for your kinsmen. Then another person also brought us some of the tweets that he has done. This one, he did this tweet on the 19th of October 2022, where he said, we can't even provide simple solutions to problems like hunger and poverty. How do we now solve natural disasters like flooding, etc? Imagine having earthquakes in Nigeria. God, I beg you. Then on the 30th of January this year, 2024, he said, before you close your eyes and open it, another disaster has happened in Nigeria. Too many to keep calm. This is the same person that is now saying to people all of these things. It's just crazy. I don't know why people don't understand. Integrity should be integrity. Your inside should match your outside. You don't speak based on, oh, who is it that you feel good about it. What is it that you stand for? Sadly, many people stand for nothing.